How do you become a top model in 2025? This is probably the question that every single model wants to know. How do I become a top working model? How can I make it to the top in this industry? I'm going to tell you what I think based off of every single conversation I've had with model agency owners, with models, and just in general, like what the temperature of the industry is looking like right now. The first thing that you need to have in order to be a top model is to have a look that is completely and utterly striking and different from anything that we've really ever seen before. This already removes 95% of you guys, because realistically you might be attractive, you might look like a model, but you're not that interesting. You're replaceable. I'm sorry, but most models are replaceable. Top models aren't really replaceable. A top model has to have a memorable look, a look that all these different brands want to work with and hire because they're just so striking and it elevates their products in these ad campaigns that they do. If you're just good looking or if you're just a model, that's not enough. You're not going to become a top model. The second thing that a top model must have is a good body. You have to have the perfect height and dimensions to fit into fashion clothes in order for you to be a top model. In fact, it's because of these perfect dimensions that they get cast a lot on runway shows, and why they go further in the career to the upper echelons of fashion is because they wear clothes super dope, better than us. And this isn't something that's really in your control. Most of these models are genetically born with these body measurements, and you may not be. And so if you're not that, you're not gonna be a top model. 3, social media. A lot of these top models have found success because they've been able to garner and harness social media in order to push them further in front of top modeling agencies and other brands, because they have great personalities online and they've been able to cultivate a following, which has honestly incentivized brands and agencies to want to represent these people. Because like I've told you guys before, the fashion industry is all a popularity contest. They only want to work with people who are popping, who are cool, who people are talking about. So if you have the first 2 things that I told you about and you have an audience, guess what? You're more than likely going to be positioned to become a top model. And there's no real way around it, because realistically you can be a working model, a model that works a lot and is in the fashion industry, but if you don't have a social media presence, no one is going to remember you. Like, you're not a top model. A part of being a top model is someone that actually has attention on you, who has a following, who is growing in exposure because multiple people in the industry and outside of the industry are paying attention to you because of the first 3 things. The 4th thing is you have to have a badass agent. You can have the first 3 things, but if you don't have a badass agent that knows how to push you and knows how to market you and sell you, you're not going to go very far. And this doesn't mean that you have to be with the topmost prestige modeling agencies that you know about. It just means that your agent has to have a lot of great connections in the business, and they have to really believe in you. And if you don't have that, you're not going to become a top model, realistically. Why is that the case? Because a good agent that is invested in your success and who believes in you, they're going to know which brands to push you towards, which editorials to do, what strategy there is to take in order to position you as a top model so that you continue to grow and excel and become a competitive, famous top model. The 5th thing you need to have is an impeccable personality, because this industry is largely based off of relationships and working with people in close proximity, which means that you have to win the favor over people. You have to get people who work with you on set, who are your agents, photographers, makeup artists, everybody that you come into contact with in this industry. You have to gain their favor, because when you gain their favor, guess who's going to be sending you jobs? Guess who you're going to get work from? The people who you work with that refer you. The 6th and final thing you need to have is an aesthetic. If you're a model, you're going to be an influencer. Models are the original influencers. And if you do not have an aesthetic, if you have zero influence in the fashion space, no one wants to wear what you're wearing, you don't set trends, and you're not artistic or an artist beyond just what other people do and put on you, like you have your own ambition, you out of your own efforts don't actually have your own distinct style that separates you from every other single model, it's going to be really hard to stand out. Like, why should people follow you? Like, how are you inspiring others if your entire feed is just made up of what other artists do on you, but not what you're capable of doing for yourself? A top model should be someone that is inspirational because they actually have something to contribute to the table beyond just showing up and being a blank canvas. This is really hard to pull off because a lot of the things on this list are something that you guys have to really be born with, and other things are taught, and then the other things are just luck, like finding a good agent. It's really hard to see how someone can actually try to make becoming a top model a dream when, as you can see, you don't really have much control over it. If you have the first 2 things on that list, then yes, you have the best chance of becoming a top model at some point in your life if you do things the right way. But you should follow this list, because I can guarantee you, if you look at every single top model that's currently working in the industry, they meet every single requirement that I put on this list. If you need help to become a top model, then the first thing you're going to need is strong modeling digitals, which is what I do here in LA and in Miami, where I'm coming to next Saturday, the 24th, and New York and in Paris and in London all this year. So look out for all of my my dates where I'm traveling to offer people the digitals that they need to start a career that hopefully leads you guys to become a top model.